Hi friends, it's Deanna here, and today we're making the Sitting Pretty top by Ellie and Mac. And this is a really cute top. It's got a really cute Peter Pan color, and it actually love how it looks with the Be Smart jumper. It is just super cute, and they also have an adult pattern, so we've got a kid and adult pattern for this top. So this is cool because you can match your little one. So that's awesome. I always love the ones that we have kid and adult pattern because we can match, and I love matching. So as you know, because I already told you that. But we're gonna go ahead and get started. Before I get started though, let me remind you of our fun fan giveaway of an Ellie and Mac gift certificate of $50. And all you need to do is subscribe to our channel and comment in one of our videos. So if you haven't subscribed yet, pause the video, subscribe so you never miss any of our tutorials, and then comment on one of our videos, comment below and let me know what you like about Ellie and Mac, which your favorite pattern, what you're gonna make, who you sew for. Just let us know whatever you want to let us know, and you'll be entered for our giveaway. So we're gonna go ahead and get started. Again, I'm using Ellie and Mac Sitting Pretty top, and I already printed out my pattern and cut it out, and here's all ready. So I have my back piece, my front piece, I have my two neck pieces, my well actually before of the front color and two of the back color. I've got my bands for my sleeves because I'm doing my sleeve version, but I'm banding them instead of hemming them. So you could either do sleeveless, banded, you could do sleeves with band, or sleeves hemmed. So it's up to you, but I'm doing the sleeves banded because I think that's like most of the process, so I wanted to give you the most detailed one. So here we go. I'm gonna go ahead and grab my back and face up on my board, on my mat, and I'm gonna grab my other one and face right down on top of it. So right sides together on top of it, meeting at the shoulder seam, and we're gonna sew the shoulders together. So I'm gonna pin. I'm going to use my serger, and I love using my serger. So I'm using my serger, but if you want to use a sewing machine, we can use a sewing machine. You just need a stretch stitch on your sewing machine. What I would recommend is grabbing some of your fabric that you're using and testing out which stretch stitch will work best for that fabric. You could do a zigzag stitch, you could do a lightning bolt stitch, any kind of stretch stitch that you have on your sewing machine, and I would just test out a piece and see how it stretches and how it works, and see which one you prefer to use. Also remember, if you're using a sewing machine, you want ballpoint needles, stretch needles. They're a little bit different than just regular needles, and they work better for when you're working with knits, so I would recommend those. And also, don't get too close to the edge when you put it on your sewing machine on the foot. Don't go right across the edge. Make sure you use that seam allowance, because if you go too close to the edge on your sewing machine, it'll tend to try to eat that fabric, and it won't work very well. So those are just a couple tips that I've noticed over the course of my sewing time. So we're sewing those shoulder seams together, and I hope I don't regret this, but I am so lazy at changing my threads on my serger that I am just using the same black for the whole thing. The reason why I want to use black is this is a little tip for this pattern. When you flip the color over, you sometimes might see a little bit of the serge edge if you flip it over. So whatever color your color is, try to go closer to your color when it comes to sewing the neck on. So if you, for some instance, do see a little bit of the serge, like if the color does lift up, even though we do tack it on the sides or something like that, then you will have a little bit, you will have the same color, so it won't be like, whoa. Because I made that mistake before. It was a black color, and I think I sewed it on with white thread because part of the dress had white on it, so I just went with white. And so then whenever that lifted up a little bit, you could see the white right there, and I don't like that. So that's why I'm doing black, because the color is black. And I'm too lazy to change back and forth for the top, so I'm like, the white has black on it, the top has black on it, so it'll be fine. So I've got my neck piece. This is my back neck piece, and I'm facing it right side up. This is my right side of my neck piece. This is the back. And then I have the two little front wiggle thingies, you know, the ones that go right here. And we're gonna grab one and it's right sides together. And you see that the rounded edge, the longer rounded edge is at the bottom. And the little piece that just like, it narrows into a point that goes towards the inside. So you wanna make sure that you're putting them on the right way, right sides together. Because when you match them up together, they make, I'm gonna put them right on top of here because that way you can see them. See how they make that little shoop, shoop? So this right here is the inside of my color, so you want it right on top like that. I know that black on black is kind of hard to see, so that's why I wanted you to see it off of there. And we're matching the raw edges on the outside, the straight edges, not the rounded edges, the straight edges. And we are going to sew those together. And I'm doing this to one of my colors, my liner. I'm not really sure if it's my liner or my outer. They're the same thing, so it doesn't really matter. But I already did it to the other one. So you're gonna do it to both sets. Get my scissors. Okay, another side. Come on. Okay, so now that I've got them open, do you see that? I'm gonna open them and steam them up. Okay, I just steamed that seam, but see how they're now like so. There's two of them, one here. So we're gonna go ahead and put them right on top of each other, the two of them. Meeting right sides together, and we're gonna meet those outer seams. First we'll meet that seam right there, that first seam that we made. And what we're gonna sew is the outer edge. So we're gonna sew around the outer outside, around the out. Around the outside. So we're matching the outside edges, the raw edges on the outside. So we're gonna match, I always match those seams first. And then we're matching all the other raw edges. Matching the raw edges. Alright, so now that they're all matched up, you can see that I have my color. It's ready to sew on the outside. So you start at the point, one of the points, and you go all the way around. So we're gonna put that color together at the outside. So I'm gonna start at this point right here at the top and go all the way around. Now remember, these are right sides together, so they are facing each other. You're gonna take it a little bit slow as you're turning around and going around the circle. My spool got caught and it almost ripped my thread. Has it ever done that to you? It's very annoying when it does that, because then your color gets all tucked under tight. I'm gonna make sure this is fixed because I don't want it to look a mess. So I'm gonna bring this one back in. When it got caught on there, it broke the second needle, the right needle thread. So all I'm doing right now is, because it's just the needle thread that it broke, I'm just threading that needle again. If it would have broken one of the loopers, then I have to do the whole thing over again. But if it's just one of the needles, you can literally just thread it back in. And that's what I did. And I'm gonna continue. It's my, my thread. I don't know why. It has like rough on the top. I don't know why. I'm looking at that now. That one of them is all roughed up in the top. And so it it when especially like that one, and it's a woolly nylon, which is really annoying because it's a stretch thread. It was going around and it got like some of the fuzz got caught on the top of my thread bobbin thingy, spool, whatever it's called, and it like pulled it, so it was like pulling it tight so it couldn't do its thing. Anyway, I'm turning it right side out, and I'm gonna make sure that all my edges are smooth, all my inside, all my thread. If you did it on your sewing machine, which actually probably it's better to do it on your sewing machine because it gives it more of a smooth look. You can clip any little pieces that you have that you want to clip before you flip it over. But I just serge because I don't know. Do you find, I just find like my serger to me is like my comfort blanket, you know, like I gotta use my serger when I sew. I feel like sometime a little while back my I have two sergers, and this one's a really old one, and that I've had for a while, but I got it from, I inherited, and then they had it for a long time, and it makes a lot of noise and everything, and I'm like, I was kind of worried about it dying, and then I was having a hard time threading it. It wasn't working right. And so I'm like, okay, I saw one on Amazon for sale, so I got it, and then it broke. The new one broke on me, and I was freaking out because I'm like, what am I gonna do? So then I brought this puppy back out, and I gave it some love, and it's still going strong. So I'm like, you know, not very happy about that other one that broke. But anyway, but anyway, when I was when I didn't have a serger for those like 10 minutes, I thought I was gonna die. But I didn't, I survived. So we're gonna find which one's the front. The way that we know that's the front is that the front is lower than the back, obviously. And so this fabric is so weird because it looks like it's upside down, but it's not. And I cut it crooked, didn't I? Look at those robots get on the side. Ugh, don't look at it too closely. Of course, the back is great, but the front is crooked. Don't look at it too closely. Front is right here, back is right there. We're gonna grab our color. We're gonna flip our top inside out, or what is it called? Wrong side out. So I'm gonna be looking at the wrong side of my shirt. I'm gonna grab my color and I'm gonna place it right on top of my neck, making sure that the back of the color is on the back and the front of the color is on the front. We're gonna match up those side seams right here. And then we're going to overlap the color here at the front. And what I'm gonna do is, and actually you can do this if you want to do it before you put it on your top, or if you want to do it right on your top. I'm gonna do it right on my top, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna overlap them, and then I'm gonna baste them. I'm gonna baste that spot right there. Do you see how I overlapped it? They're like overlapped like this, right on top of each other. And I'm gonna baste it right there. You can barely see it because it's, can you see it now? Overlapped a little bit. So I'm gonna go with my sewing machine and I'm just gonna do a basting stitch, which is a long stitch right there over that little spot, so that way when I go to sew it together, that spot stays together. I don't want it to move on me when I'm sewing it. So I just stitched it together right there, and that way when I sew it, see, it's stuck. So when I sew it, it won't come apart, okay? So now, we wanna make sure that it's aligned at the raw edge on the whole thing. So we're gonna go around the whole thing and make sure that it's pinned to the raw edge. And the front sides, since it's basted, then I'm good right there. And this is the smaller size, so it's a little color. It's a little color. All right, so I'm gonna start at the back and I'm gonna sew all the way around the circle. Raw edges together, right side of the collar to the wrong side of the top. And here we go. Make sure everything else is out of the way when you're sewing. Just your neck and your collar should be in there. Now we're gonna grab our bodice and turn it, and we're gonna flip that color out. See? How cute is that? And you can actually lay it out like this and then flip it down and steam. Now, we're not going to top stitch it down just quite yet, because when we're sewing the sleeves on, we want to make sure we don't accidentally sew the sleeve to the collar. So we'll do the basting down after we do all that. So towards the end. But I was just steaming it a little bit. Look at that. That's so cute. Okay, and you know what see what I mean? You can't even see the serge edge. I mean, it should stay down, but if it accidentally goes up for some reason, you still can't see it because it's the same color. If it was white, then you'd be able to kind of see it if it goes up. All right, sleeves. I'm gonna open it up. Here's my shoulder seam right here, and here's my arm side. I'm gonna grab my sleeve. First thing first, I'm gonna find the top of the sleeve. So this is my top of my sleeve. Okay, and I just made a little notch. It's just a tiny little bump that you can't even see, and when I sew it on, you won't be able to see it. I'm gonna move my collar up because I want it out of the way. I don't want to sew it onto my sleeve, and that's why we haven't top stitched it yet on top of it. And I'm gonna pin that first half. That little notch I made is gonna go right on top of that seam, and then we're gonna go down the sleeve, meeting those raw edges all the way down to the edge. And the sleeve and the top are right sides together. All the way down. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and sew that whole sleeve. So now that I put it right sides together and it's pinned all along the edge, I'm gonna sew that whole sleeve cap on around the whole thing, and I'm gonna do the same thing for the other sleeve. So let me go ahead and sew that on and sew the other sleeve on, and we'll keep moving on. All right, so my sleeves are on, and now what we're going to do is, I do love the contrast of the black and the white because you can really see it. We're gonna turn it right side out, wrong side out, inside out. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm so bad at that. I can't ever remember what is what. Okay, so we're going to turn it around in a way that the outside is facing outside and the inside is on the inside. However you say that. Inside out. Yes, there we go. We're gonna match at the seams, right sides together. This is the armpit seam. Here comes the sleeve all the way out. We're gonna match those raw edges of the sides. This little area right here. And all the way down the side of the top of the shirt. So we're gonna go sew, so we're gonna sew that side together. And we're gonna do that for both sides. And I'm gonna be honest with you. While I was attaching the other sleeve, I went ahead and already sewed the side of the other side. So I'm already done. I'm ahead of you. I already sewed the other side together. Now we're gonna grab our top, and our little top is almost done. If you're doing bands, you would have banded your sleeve, and I'll show you in a minute how you're gonna do that. But let me, is there a pin right there? No. Let me go ahead and steam. It's always good to steam your seams. I don't like this seam is, yeah. Ooh, did you see that? I almost dropped the iron. And make sure you steam those seams because it always makes it look better. All right, so now for banding that sleeve, we're gonna grab our band, and if you're banding if you're doing the sleeveless banded option, you would do the same thing to your band. We're gonna put it wrong sides together, fold it down the middle, wrong sides together. That's just to give it a memory crease. Then we're gonna fold it down the right sides together, raw edge, to make one little circle cuff band thingy. I'll show it to you in a minute. Okay, so it's now a cuff. We're gonna fold it wrong sides together again where we already made that crease. That's where it comes in handy because now you already have that crease. It's easier to fold. There's little pieces of black fuzz everywhere. Now we're gonna go from the seam. I'm gonna pin that seam, those two seams together, and we're gonna go to the outer edge, and we're gonna half it. So I'm just gonna mark it right there where my half is, and pin it. Now, if you want to quarter it, you can go ahead and quarter it. But this band is so tiny that there's no need to quarter for me. But if you have a bigger band, then yes, I would quarter it, which means you would face the front and the back together, and you go out to the sides, and that's other points that you will have. And you'll do the same for the sleeve. We're grabbing the front and the back, and this is my half. And if you're doing your band on your actual sleeve, then you would do the same thing. The seam and then the top. Now you can see that this sleeve is bigger than my cuff. You see that? That's because you have to stretch your cuff to give it that like blousey look that it has. So I'm gonna match up the pin that has my seam with my seam on my shirt, and I'm pinning this right sides together right now, raw edges touching, and now I'm gonna grab where I pinned the other side and match that up. So when I'm sewing it on, I'm going to be stretching that band quite a bit as I'm sewing it on. Make sure all the sides are facing up. So we're gonna start over here at the seam because it's just the easiest, and then I'll have all the seams in one spot. I always sew with my band face up so I can see what I'm eating. I'm trying to move all this out of the way and make sure my sleeve is all the way in there. And what I'll do is I'll first do a couple stitches to get it started. And then I'm gonna grab my band, make sure that nothing else is cut underneath it. You remove everything, move everything out of the way, and you're stretching that band and matching the raw edges. And you go to all the way to the pin, slowly stretching. Okay, and this is when the notch comes in handy because I can still see it even though I removed my pin. I can still see where I'm supposed to be at. Okay, and then I'm going to the other side. Always making sure that shirt is in there. All three layers should be in there. The 2 layers of your band and the 1 layer of your shirt. There it is. And my band is on. So then we flip it under in there and we steam it. And see? So cute! So now all we need to do is we're going to hem and we're going to attach this color on. Not attach it, but we're gonna go right here on the sides where the seams are on the side of the top collar, and we're gonna stitch those down with I'm just doing a straight stitch over it on each side, just to keep the color from rising up, from lifting. So it doesn't just keep coming up. See? So it's tacked down. I did it on one side, I'm going to do it on the other side. Just tacking it down. I've done it before too. I've done it before right here at the front too. So if you want to, if it keeps coming up or whatever on you, and you want to do a couple more tacks in different places, if you do it the same color thread, you should be good. And all we have to do now is hem our shirt, and it's a 1/2 inch hem. I'm just flipping it down and steaming it 1/2 inch. I am bad. I don't measure my hems anymore. I don't know that I ever did, actually. I'm pretty decent at eyeballing it. So, if I'm sewing for somebody else, then I usually do measure, but I don't usually sew for other people, so, like I sew for friends and family, but not like for sale. So, it's like, And I'm gonna go do it over here on my cover stitch. Nice and easy. And quick. That way we can finish up this top. I thought about making this thread black to give it some pop, but I didn't. I just put white in there. Here we are. Now, all I need to do is make make her a Be Smart jumper, and she'll have the cutest little outfit ever. All right. Here we go. We're all done. How cute is this top? I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Please let me know if you have any questions about anything I did. Comment below and let me know what you think of the robots being crooked. Oh well. You won't be able to tell once it's on. I hope you have a good rest of your day. Please remember to subscribe and comment below so you can be entered for a giveaway. If you're not part of our Facebook or Instagram page, we'd love to have you come and join us so we can see what you're making and you can see what we're making and you can be inspired to make more and more things. Please like, comment, share, and I'll see you all next time. Bye!